Ooh. Uh-oh, folks. Uh-oh, folks. I'm in straight killer mode for when it comes to software. I'm in straight killer mode right now. This is good. This is good. I've had a productive day yesterday. Absolutely smashed the day. Today we are off to a hot start. It's 2 p.m. and I have got so much done today. And I still got more to do. And I'm excited. I'm energized. I'm looking forward to doing it. But anyway, back to the Code Chronicles, folks. It is your lovely host, Pags. Welcome back. Welcome back. I crushed some algorithms this morning, wrote some software for the project this morning. For a side project me and my business partner are doing for a company, and talked to some recruiters and set up some interviews. I got some tomorrow, one on Monday, potentially one on Friday, or I should have two tomorrow, but it ended up being flipped to tomorrow and Monday. Channel is growing. Folks, we are just vibes right now. Just the aura is just working. You know, the vibes are just expanding. So I'm in a great mood, to be honest. Welcome to the Code Chronicles. My name is Pags again, folks. We're looking at the task managers for those new to the series. This is episode should be 35, 36 or so, and this series is about us building a task manager similar to a Jira, similar to a Kanban-esque style thing, so we can measure our task completion, our project completion. Let's go to our Kanban page. We were working strongly on the column components for, the later 20s episodes. And then yesterday we worked tremendously hard on this base chart components. All handmade, all custom, folks, all handmade. So the vibes are high, things are aligning. I'm equipping the skill set more and more. We've used Prisma, TypeScript, Next.js, server-side rendering. We built some stuff in Node.js originally, all streamlined this project just to be a TypeScript, or excuse me, a Next.js backend-esque wholesome thing. So yeah, it's good, folks. I've been diving more into AWS. I've been just learning, you know, writing algorithms in Python. We are stepping things up. It's time to get to that next level. It is time, folks. No more mucking around, no more messing about. You get me. You get me, bruv. You get me. So I would genuinely, though, outside of searching for new opportunities, new work and stuff, I would love to do this full time. This whole deal, the program with Pags full time. So easy way to support me is the Teachable course in my link in the description below. Please let me know any additional course material. I know a lot of people make fun of people. Oh, I'm not going to pitch you a course at the end of my channel. Well, I am 100% going to pitch you a course. I believe in my teaching style. I believe in the way I view software being very dominant and very good. So I have no shame. I have zero shame. Not even 1%. Not even 1%. In fact, I think there's going to be a point where I charge more for the course and the access to this. So, but I will always give out free value as well. I think that's always important. I've been given so much from the software community that I would love to do 90% free type thing and then 10% all paid or for the people who opt in, right? But that's why I love the Code Chronicles, because we have this like free deal where, let me turn up the headphones just a smidge, where the Code Chronicles are kind of this free, just intimate knowledge, watching me build, watching me struggle, all that stuff. So let's get back to what we were building yesterday night. Let's see, margin bottom, my task. We have this base chart component. That's what we were working on last night. I believe we got directly to building this guy. What else did we do? We figured out the lines. We are dynamically rendering the lines. So if let's go to our functions, our helpers. So we have some helpers identifying the dates today and tomorrow. What did I break? Okay, we're back. So if we change the dates and the time of what we're extracting the dates from of task, we should see our line component change, or our lines behind our bar chart component change, which is great news because we can go back a lot of days. Or most importantly, we don't have to manage this. We don't have to manage the amount of lines. That's already going to be auto handled, auto generated, all that stuff. What we now need to do is work on the actual bar component. So that's going to be this guy. We need to measure the height. Should always take all the height. So I noticed that bug there. If we go back, let's say 20 days, looks like we have a height issue. The external bar chart bar should handle, should always be max height of the outer div. So let's figure that one out. It's going to be this one right here, I believe. So let's try just grow. See what that does. No. What about min height full? How about that? What if we just don't even have a height associated with it, right? Height. Huh. You know what we could do actually is declare the height of the external wrapper. So all of this, right? We can always say this will be height 96, right? And therefore we can measure everything based on that. Could be one solution. But I really don't like that. I think what needs to happen is no matter what the height is, this always needs to be at the bottom. That's number one, right? Justify end. Boom. So it always needs to be at the bottom no matter what the heights are. And I think what we can do is do the math for the lines being shown here. Because right now we're just doing the index of the filtered objects. So we could do filtered const. Because the thing with this number is, what if it's a team of people completing tasks? And I thought about this too last night. We have to think about the users or the team or the project as a whole of tasks completed, because what exactly is this bar chart measuring? Is it measuring how many tasks I personally completed when I log in on this page? Or are we measuring the project's completion, right? Here's kind of the project's completion. So are we monitoring how many tasks were done for that entire team, or the project? So these are things that aren't integrated yet, but we need to think about strongly, right? So and if we want to build it out, then we need to build out the functionality for these decisions, right? If we want to choose, okay, I think we're going to choose the week that can be selected, and then we also need to extrapolate on top of that. When the time comes, we won't do this initially, but when the time comes to integrate teams, we need this component to work for either I'm measuring just me personally or the team itself, the whole team. So let's just keep that in the back of our heads while we're kind of conceptualizing this, right? So filter task object, let's see. Function, let's maybe not cross that bridge though yet. Let's build for the actual bar chart component. I think is going to be more important. But the height is still going to be effectively relevant to we need to make some decisions, because the height is going to be relevant based on how many tasks are done, but then how high do we make the bar chart? If we want to do a pixel value, right, does every task count as like 4 pixels of height or 10 pixels of height? Whatever number it is, whether it's an arbitrary fixed number or not. And then all of that height needs to be determined by all of these external numbers. So it still has to be dynamic, right? We could do this very, very generically of saying, well, the style. Let's see. Well, let's figure this out, right? Let's calculate the project completion. Calculate task completed. Let's see, how would we do this? So task. not task completed. Calculate task completed. It would be calculate bar chart height, I think is what we'll call this, right? And this needs to be relevant to the date of the task, so it's going to be close to this. Maybe we do want to have two different functions of this. So function calculate. Let's think about it for a sec. Calculate bar chart height, bar chart height. And I think what it's going to take is going to be let's think about it. We slept on it last night, let it marinate in the brain. Still don't have an easy solution right now, but golly, we will make one. So the bar chart height needs to be, let's just pick an arbitrary number now for now so we can see the bar chart. Let me think. Filtered array of task objects. Let's think, because we need to render 7 different bars, and the bars are all going to have different heights based on whether they're completed or not. I'm not necessarily worried about that functionality. I'm more worried about that just seems like a wrestling match that we'll figure out, figuring out how to calculate the height based on the toggled column that we're measuring as completion. So I'm not necessarily worried about that. The thing I'm more concerned about is how do we do the time zones, or not the time zones, excuse me, but the dates. The timestamps associated to each task completed for this week. We've already sliced it for this week. Now, how do we slice it one abstraction deeper to each day? That's going to be the question. So we are definitely going to use our trusty tool of ChatGPT, our lovely intern, because here's the objects we made last night. That's what this array of task objects is doing right here. We're flat mapping through our tasks from the task store that have the data shape look like this. And then we are flat mapping that and just returning the object that we want. We don't want all the other stuff, because if we do this, we'll see all the task status, which I believe is going to be this array. So this is what our task actually look like, but we just want just this. Oh, no, it is actually this 6 array, because we're still cutting the dates, I believe. But this has everything in it. We don't need everything. We just need this. So we're actually cutting all that extra noise out, and we're just returning the timestamp and the name, because that's all we need. That's all we need, I believe. So that's just cleaning up the data there. So let's think. We have the timestamps and the name. So if we take our array of, what are we doing here? I don't think that's doing anything. So we have the start of the week, we have the end of the week. And I believe we want to build a function that's going to be returning. Yeah, so I think we need a function that's going to break up into 7 days and determine whether it's like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and construct an array around that ultimately. And then we're going to end up passing, I think, this into that function. I believe that would be the approach to it. So let's think. Unless I'm overthinking it, there's an easier opportunity to just show. Because the struggle I'm having, there's a small disconnect from this array of objects that we have, this array of task objects with the dates in this array. And then the disconnect is now, how do we measure how do we make those into day bars? Well, I guess we already have the week. We've already done that. So maybe we can just hop to this step, right? Let's give it a go. So we'll say task object, which looks like this right here. We have a timestamp, right? Task timestamp. So what we have, task status timestamp, which is a string, and then we have task status name, which is also a string. And boom. What's the error? Why is it not like in our TypeScript here? I feel like it should really. All right, we'll leave the TypeScript out of it. Task object, task time status name, boom. Okay, so we have all of these. Let's say task timestamp. The problem with this timestamp, we have 6 of them, but we need to print out 7 days every time, no matter what. So that's where that function would make sense to pass it in to kind of repackage everything, organize all the timestamps. So let's say we have 12 task timestamps, but it's still it only accrues over 6 days. We do need to organize, okay, this goes to day 1, this goes to day 2, this goes to day 3. Maybe day 4 is nothing, but day 5 has double or triple. So let's think about it. So funny, my sister just sent me a picture of her hovercraft. She's buying a hovercraft right now. Just absolutely hilarious. But let's at least just get the bars rendered on chart, and then we'll think about how to do these other things real quick. Let's see, I'm gonna wrap it in fragments just so it's easy to read. I always like to keep the stuff here. So boom, that's 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're always gonna need 7 if we're measuring the week. But at least for now, we can kind of render stuff just temporarily on page. So let's think about how we want to do this. We are going to ultimately say const, it's going to be a similar thing, const filtered, we'll say week of task objects, and it's going to be filtered array. We need to somehow reduce them to an array. Oh, this is going to be tricky. My buddy Tretis actually had this same problem, and he did it in a very creative way. He generates an array, right? So he has like a const week array, right? And he starts with this. He's got like this. So this is ironic because I was like, oh, dude, why would you not just keep them as an object? It seems the easiest. And now I'm crossing paths with that same problem. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so really we do have tasks completed this week. It's going to look something like this, right? We're going to have an array of this, whether we choose numbers or objects, whatever it ends up being, we still need to construct 7 days of material. So the idea is, boom, we'll have something like this. So it'll always be 7 days. Boom, 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 boom. And we need to populate this array now, this piece of data, if you will. So I'm thinking how to, there's a few things I want to do, right? We have to dynamically check each week, but I guess that's with the timestamp. So we do have the start of the week timestamp. I wonder if we could use that before coding. Let me talk this out more. So we have the start of the week timestamp, right? Start of the week. So we can always find the 0th indexed thing right there, right? The 0th indexed object will always be the start of the week for the timestamp. The additional objects will be plus 1 day, right? Second one will be plus 2 days. I could tell the algorithms are like writing algorithms is actually helping me be a better software engineer. Last night I could tell very quick. I've been doing an algorithm a morning. You guys will see on Algorithm Sundays. That's going to be a new thing coming out soon. Depending on when this episode comes out, it might already be out, but that was taken last Sunday, where I'm going down this journey of actually writing data structures and algorithms, because I didn't pass that tech lead interview. I dropped the ball at the algorithm. Won't happen again. Maybe I was wrong. And again, I do think, you'll see in the data structures and algorithms, I'm like, we'll just learn algorithms and then roast them. So I don't want to be super heavy on that stuff because again, I think AI tools are going to replace it. But if I'm going to the AI field at some point in my life, I do need to know data structures and algorithms, and it is making me a better software engineer. So I'm going to do it in the mornings, just one algorithm a day, I think. And if I keep up with that, that's 300 algorithms a year. That's a lot. That's a lot. So, but anyway, so we have the start of the week timestamp. And I could build a function, or at least ask ChatGPT to build a function that takes the start of the week and prints out the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. And it can recursively do that. So I think these objects, let's break them up. So I think what one object could look like, let's see, we'd have a timestamp, right? Whatever we called it, task status timestamp. This one would be start of the week, right? And this next one would be start of the week plus one, basically, is how I'm seeing it. And we do that all the way up to 6 more times to represent all 7 days. So 4, 5, 6, right? So that handles that, but then we also need to calculate one more thing, which would be task status name. And we need to calculate the number of tasks with task status name equal to column toggled, the toggled column. Because the toggled column is how we're measuring the project completion. So I think that's what our structure is going to be, right? And we would do that for, and it needs to be for this day, right? So number of tasks with that status name for this day. For this day. And what is this day? This day is going to be start of week. And this day will be start of week plus 1. And so on and so forth, all the way down to 6. Number of tasks with task status name, that's equal to, I think if we could build this object, we are in the money, folks. We are in the money. But yeah, that's kind of a tricky problem. Maybe there's another way to do it too, but that seems like an appropriate solve for this problem, if you will. 5, let's see, and 6, boom. Okay, so that is, I think, the object we ultimately want. So what do we need out of this? We definitely need the start of the week. We need algo for start of week plus 1, or I should say function for start of week plus 1 up to 6, right? Then we need function for number of tasks, which is really this one right here, which is this. That's what that's calculating, number of tasks. But it's not taking into consideration for this day. That's function for number of tasks equal to task store task column toggled for this day. Okay. And then ultimately, we are going to need something to build a 7 object array. And that'll be this guy right here. And then we take that array, paint it on our HTML. On template. So, and that's just down here what we're kind of already doing. So that's not a big deal. We're obviously going to do that, no problem. Happen to be an ex-enterprise front-end engineer, folks, so hopefully I can get that done, right? So task completed this week. We are rendering nothing. We'll just put this back here. Painting it on to the other thing we want to do is figure out the height. Take array, paint it on template, and figure out height for bars. So we do have a fair amount of work in front of us still. Although we made huge progress last night on this component, we do have a lot that we need to do. So we do have the start of the week. That is done. Now I believe next step. Let's talk this out one more time. Make sure that we're hitting all the things. So the function is. Let's put build objects shaped like this. What are they going to be? Task status. Timestamp. Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong now that I'm writing this out, because we already have this. So what if I think about it this way? Let's put this on a burner real quick. Let's just keep it there, but put it on a burner. What if we just focus on building one bar? What does one bar take? Right? What does one bar take? Meaning this yellow thing, or this green, this light green. What does one bar take? What does it take to create one bar? Create one bar. So one thing it might take is going to be which day it is. The other thing it might take is number of tasks for this day. So we're kind of subverting a few of these things. We probably don't need this. And if we just build each bar properly, like each day, if we could figure out how to build one day, I think that actually might be an easier solve. It's still a similar solve. It seems like less work, because then all we're doing is just filtering this, and we're already splicing end of the week and start of the week. We just need to build what is in one bar here, I think. Or even up here, what's in one bar. So let's marinate on it for a second. We could save some time in development if we get this right. Okay, so one bar. If we could filter for the tasks that exist today, so each task that has a timestamp associated to it, which we've already done. Because this kind of, I guess, will be from a week ago. Like we basically just want to do this recursively to say, okay, that will be a week. This will be 6 days ago, right? 6 days ago, and then we just change this to 6, and that'll give us the timestamp for that. We do the same thing down here for 5 days ago, but we should just be able to recursively do this. Let's think how to recursively do this. We're going to ask ChatGPT. See, I'm going to write all of them out. Okay, 1 week ago. Can you make this recursively work so I don't have to make more functions? Just want the timestamps from a week ago until today. Boom. simplify the code by putting this day's age. That's okay, cool. Well, so that's not like a recursive thing that's going to print out 7 dates, but that'll work. So it's saying just day's age, right? We could say some sort of number. Just use that function. Get 1 week ago. Get days ago time at ISO string, and that's obviously going to break things because we don't have that. So boom, 7. I think that should work now. Export boom. Oh, and we need to import it. Okay, so we should fix that now. That should still produce the start of the week. Let's see. Boom, start of the week. Looks like it does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We still have 6 tasks. Okay, so that would be start of the week. Or we could say 7 days ago. Looks like we can't do 7 days ago. This is what I'm talking about is I feel like there should be a way to do 6 days ago, right? 5 days ago. Should be a recursive way to do this where it prints out all of them. And I guarantee there is. But we are going to cruise right along right now. 1 days ago. Okay. So now we have all of our timestamps that we want. Let's just ask ChatGPT, can you make this recursive somehow? Okay, so we'll get days ago. It says do this and then generate timestamps recursively. So boom, days ago. So it takes that and then -1. Okay, perfect. And then we can just take this and boom, today's timestamp. This will be this, I believe. And we won't generate from 7 days ago. We'll need to do the 0th position, I believe, because we're going to get an array back of timestamps, which we do. And we will say timestamps. Say this week's timestamp or last week's timestamps. Should be this, and then we just need to do the 0th position to cut from last week's first day to today. So, and I think that's going to be all 7, right? Let's see if this still populates and works. Does, nice. Okay, so now we have half the battle. We did it recursively. That's kind of neato. It's kind of neato. Okay. Let's think. So now we have all 7 days, I believe. So if we do this, task object, we still should see 7 days no matter what now. All the time. Doesn't matter if we change the week. So we do have a function for start of the week. I guess we are going to do this, right? Okay, so then task function for number of tasks with task status name that equal to the task column. So we have our filtered object, and now we need to But this needs to be mapped, because if we just check right now for the task with the task status we're measuring at project completion now, we're going to get all the bars being the same height. So we need to map this and return the bars according to their date with, let's see, I think so. I think it needs to be returned with the date that equals this. So we could almost pass in something and use this to complete, I think. We're probably going to steal some sort of logic from this, I imagine. So task status map. Let's see if we return task object.task status, right? Task status name, I think. And we can basically say the ones on think about how to do this. We almost want to pass it into this function as an object, right? Where we're going to be receiving kind of this object of task name and task timestamp, right? And then with this object, I feel like this is roughly what we would be checking. Last status, depending on the timestamp. And then the task name, it would still be the same thing right here. That equals the task column toggled. So we really do want this logic. Or we do want most of this logic. We just need to change, I think, this line. So, basically, I think what we want to do is do something like this. Test status, right? I don't know. Can you do that? Can you pass that in like this? I suppose we are breaking rules, folks. Breaking rules. Test object, test name, right? Is this a thing we can do? Test object dot test status name. Boom. Maybe not. Okay, so, but that is roughly the idea. I think we're gonna try to do here is basically flat map this thing, where we're pulling out. Let's see. Basically, if we say the zeroth thing, we should be getting. I think this. Let's close that. Boom. So we have 0. Well, let's see what's coming in this function real quick. Task status name, task status timestamp. Sweet. So we do have the task status name, task status timestamp coming in. And then basically we'll do like the first, the second, the third, up to 6. And that's how we would calculate everything, right? So I think we just got a server error from just throwing too much stuff through. Task status of param as it's undefined. Okay. Let's see. See what we're working with, right? Something was working though earlier, right? We're on the 0 thing. And then I think this will ultimately be in our template, I think. So let's see, function. This is going to be the biggest lift. So we really don't need to build object for that. We might be able to skip this part and just do this. And if we could return an array of these objects that basically says this is Monday, this one's for, and the number of completed tasks is this, I think we can go from there. So filter task object, let's just see what this object is. Object, go ahead and print that out. Undefined, undefined, undefined. Let's see if it takes a sec. Boom. Okay, so here's the object that we're getting. So we could say task object. How about that? And the type would be task status timestamp string and task status name string. And boom. So we have task object. And now we can access task status name, I believe, and task status timestamp. So let's try it out for size. See how it works. Type error, cannot read properties of task status object. Interesting. Task object. Okay, we'll just do this then. Let's see if we can at least just ignore the TypeScript for right now and get this object working. Test status name, interesting. Thought we were calling it test status name, we are. Let's do a conditional render, see if it's just something simple, which it might be. Looks like it is. And boom, from here. Okay, perfect. So now we have the task status name and the task status timestamp in our calculate complete function. So what we need to do is task status. This is from task store. And instead of filtering based on the task store, I think now we need to filter the task object based on the date it is being checked for. And then we'll still keep the same pretty much logic here. I believe that's what we need to do next. So let's give us some space. Let's think about it for a hot sec. We need to filter the task object for today's date. Let's just start with that. Let's just say return the date I'm still a little blurry on it, to be honest. I'm still a little confused on it. So return the date, because it has to be both today and both this logic right here of the task store task column toggled. So let's take a crack at it. Let's see what we come up with. So return. Yeah, let's maybe just ask ChatGPT to help us out here. Why are we getting an error? Parameters not compatible. Well, what if we pulled it in as an array and just messed with it here and said this task objects complete? Huh? You know what I mean, folks? So we have task object.filter. And we can do we're gonna need to change all of this logic too, because it's not going to be based on the number of total tasks. It's going to be the number of tasks this week. So we need to calculate the number of tasks this week, which we already have. We actually already have. So we have array of task object total task this week, right? And this is number of completed task this day is what it is. Number of completed task today, or this specific day. So I'm still trying to figure out what we need to do here for the timestamp, because it's going to be still going to be let's see, it's not going to be task status.length because that's not coming in anymore. We have to do the task object. Let me return and console log the task real quick. We also could probably change the type right here too, because I don't think it's going to be that type. Let's see, console log task. Let's see what we're working with, right? I need to see the data. So this is going to be our task status timestamp. Equals today's date, right? Which was going to be that generate recursive thing. Because that's not just last week's timestamp. That's actually today's timestamp if we want. But how do we do that? Let's maybe ask ChatGPT what we can do with this, because maybe it's simpler than we're thinking, and maybe it's more complicated than I'm thinking. But can you calculate the number of tasks completed? Maybe we want to keep the comments in even to give it a little guidance. Number of tasks completed on any specific day. Here is what I have so far. I want to return ultimately, right? Ultimately, I want to return an array of 7 objects that represent each weekday, and also reflect the number of tasks completed. I am building a bar chart component. Okay, so let's see. See what it comes up with, right? So it's starting with the day counts, and let's see what it comes up with. Task object, boom, boom, boom. But I just don't know if this is what we need. Calculate task completed. Let's blur this one out for now. 50%, but there's no way we just finished one task, right? Or maybe it is. Maybe it is just 50% on that one day, right? So let's look it over. Check if this is what we need. Definitely is completed task status equals task store dot task column toggled, right? Definitely need that in there. It's not just going to be task column toggled unless it's passing it in. Task column toggled. Oh, I see. So we can just get rid of that and just keep task store dot task column toggled there. We have the task objects. Let's see. Percentages, boom, 0. Timestamp dot get day task dot task status. Let's pop in, not the percentages here. Here's our task objects that we're generating. Or the percentages, I think, is what we want to generate. Let's clean this up. It's kind of hard to see with this much code. I get a little bit of chest blindness, you know what I mean? If it's completed, increment the count. Okay, That'll work. So days of the week is completed. We're still not getting what I think we should calculate, the filter task object. We do want the filter task object. Not a number, not a number. So we're getting this error still. Task.task status timestamp is not a thing, but I'm pretty sure it is. But we don't have task status get day. We just have how do we format the string again? Say, okay, so we have task object, total task this week is the task object, which is going to be our filtered task, which is ultimately what we're passing in, which is fine. So total task this week, boom, 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 example usage. So if we're returning task status objects, now this is what we want to generate. We're not getting that. We almost want to generate that, right? So task status name. Let's see. Console log percentages, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so we still don't have a get day function. Let's get rid of that. I think it's saying day of the week. We're gonna have to build maybe a function to get the day of the week, which was this though, which was this for this guy right here. So I think this is what we ultimately want. Let me give this to ChatGPT. Can you make this all work? Looks like you have most of the code to calculate the percentage completed. Boom. However, there are a few issues and improvements needed. Let's see. Does get day work for? Boom. Percentage, boom. Let's see if it just takes a sec to render. No, task column toggled. All right, let's see. Let's see if it works. Task column toggled is done, so we should see some percentages. Nice, and we do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Folks, that might have worked. So let's see, task store, task column toggled. Let's see if that works still. Because what is our task column toggle? It should be done. It should be, let's pop it up here. Oh, trusty old Vue syntax. Never fail to do that when I go from a Next project to this. So it should be done, right? That's the that is our task column toggled, is the task store column toggled, right? Task store.task column toggled. It's good to know it's working though, right? That's the important part. It is working. So let's see if it doesn't have task store task column toggled, we'll default it to done for right now just to make sure we get something. And it looks like we can do that now with our percentage, and it looks like we can now calculate the heights. Let's see. Let's just try style first and see if we can. I think you can do this. Is it height? And we'd say percentage pixel, right? Something like that. calculate the height of this. Boom. Whoa. ChatGPT has 2 responses now? That is crazy. Style, calculate height. That is crazy. Okay, so let's see. Percentages. Boom, we're going to go there. Calculate height. We're going to take the percentage and calculate the height. Let's see. See what we get, right? For some of these. Boom, it's working, folks. It's working. So we'll try rem just to completely show us some completed task and stuff. Let's pop one into the done column now and see if this works. So we'll pop this one over to done, update it, see if we get a success. Looks like we got a success response and it should be in the done column. We should see more project completion on the pie chart. And then we should also see the component go higher up, I think. So we did see more project completion, but we didn't see, the percentage increase. So I'm a little bit skeptical. Days of the week. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I definitely know there's going to be opportunity to streamline this, but let's see. Test status. What was the one we just moved? Believe it was. Let's see. AAA. Let's move that one over. Let's go ahead and refresh. Sorry, folks. Less talky right now. Just trying to get this figured out so I don't see. Oh, there it is. AAA. And let's go back over here and re-render this. And we should see that part of our array. So not from store. What array should this be from? From dashboard. Boom. We should see it from there. We should see more than 6, I believe. Is it getting today? Oh, it's not doing today's timestamp. It's doing yesterday's. So maybe end of week. Maybe we could do 8 here just to see. It should calculate the AAA because we just moved it. Let's actually check. I know we stripped our task with this, but let's say task status name. Well, that's the status. We actually just want the task name. Array of task objects. So we should console log the task. Let's see. Here's all of our task. We have task name. So we're going to keep that part of our object and we'll say task or status, or this will be task.task name, I believe. We'll keep that part of our build a bear, if you call it, or build a task. So from dashboard, we still should see our task names. So we don't see AAAA, which makes me think that the timestamps are not slicing proper. So maybe we'll just remove this for now. Maybe that's all we need to do. From dashboard. Task status name. Maybe we're not calculating the task status timestamp correctly. Let's think, folks. Let's think this through. I'm going to get rid of the percentages. I don't want to see all that. And then we have something in the store as well I'm going to get rid of. I don't want my console to be bogged down. say from store. Let's go ahead and get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of running, boom. Oh, I think I got rid of the endpoint. No, okay. Boom. Let's see, let's clean up our console. From dashboard, we have some errors, not terribly. Bar chart should have just a unique prop. Not really worried about that. Console. Where is all of our console logs coming from? Console.log. Oh, let's see. Let's get rid of this for right now. And get rid of that one. Don't need it. Okay. So we can go ahead and do a key index. It should be here. Let's see, base pie chart. Where's some sort of key? Oh, I see. These all need keys right here. Guys, I'm getting a little tired, to be honest. I haven't eaten very much today, so I might pop off, cook some food real quick, or work out, then cook some food. But I think we're getting there. I do want to kind of get this completed thing finished first, though. So from dashboard, it seems to be our timestamp filter is going to be the only problem. I want to check all the timestamps on all the tasks real quick. Because I wonder if it's not getting the last timestamp. Task status timestamp. It needs to get the very last one. So console, let's console log tasks. Because task should have task statuses in them, and I don't believe it's keeping the I don't believe it's keeping the last timestamp in it. So let's find the AAA one. Here it is, AAA. The last timestamp that we have. Maybe we're not updating the timestamp. Looks like we're not updating the timestamp when we move task statuses. So let's go to the task column API. Let's go to the API here. Looks like when we update task, we're not updating the task status. Ooh, task status name, we are not. Okay, so let's look at Prisma. Task status timestamp. This needs to be updated every single time. Every single time that we update the task status. And these are atomic functions, I believe. Yep, it's an atomic transaction. So let's see. Task status, update task status, where, boom. So we want date.now, I believe, new date.now. How are we posting timestamps? Because that's going to be some of our key right there. New date, got it. Okay, so we just want new date. Boom. Maybe that was our only issue. Let's see. Let's go to the Kanban. We're going to swap a task. We're going to swap AAA back to a different column. Let's see, in progress. Should update. Fingers crossed. Looks like it did. Let's refresh. We still need to work on the column reactivity. That is a bug that we're experiencing. Let me zoom out of columns just a smidge. Give it a sec to load. So here's our thing. And if we go to our dashboard page, we should see the timestamp updated. So we should have all of our tasks here. Let's just refresh just to double check, make sure we're refetching. Task status, task timestamp, last moved, today's date. Nice. So let's try this one more time. We're going to pop our AAA task into done column. Boom. Let's check it out. So we have project completion updated. We don't see a change on the chart still. This still should change, I believe, one of these days, right? But I don't think it's the timestamp issue now. Now I think it's something else. I think it's going to be how we're cutting the dates. Because it looks like this array object is not returning the timestamp, even though we saw the timestamp update. Maybe we can even check in the database just to double check. So let's see, filtered array object. Let's remove end of the week. Maybe we didn't do that properly. Okay, we did see something change here. Let's see, we should have a larger array. It should have 7 things in the dashboard, and we see it. Boom, because we should have one with the 6th. And we do, but it's not in the right order. So we need to configure that. Because it needs to be down here at the end. So we're almost there. We're almost there, folks. MongoDB has an update. Okay, that's fine. We'll update that for now. We know the timestamp's working, so it's not on us. And I think MongoDB still should work. It's just simply a what's it called? A update to Compass, which is on my computer. MongoDB, the databases and everything still should be working. Let's see, restart. Okay, we will go ahead and do that. Hopefully it's not restarting the computer. Otherwise, see you guys later. Nope. Okay. Whew. Dodged a bullet. Otherwise, everything would have stopped. Everything would have stopped. But okay, so we're almost there. We're almost there. Let's see. New date, end of the week. It should be calculating, right? Timestamp. We see 6 objects. So end of the week, we should say today instead of today timestamp. How about that? We'll rename this. Instead of end of week, we'll just say today's timestamp. So we now know last week's timestamp up to today's timestamp. We should include all those tasks. So let's see what's going on here. Today's timestamp should be, yep, that's appropriate. So let's do last week's timestamps. Let's see what we're generating. Oh, you know what? I wonder if this needs to be 6 because it's going up to today. So maybe we need to do all the timestamps up to today. Looks like. So it should do the last 6 days, and then we also have up to today's. So that looks about right. Let's see. Is it still just rendering? Let's clear this out. I don't want to see 9,000 things. I want to see 2 or 10 things, right? From dashboard, boom. But that's not working either. So we have 9.5, 9.1. We need 9.6 in there. I don't know why it's not coming through. Okay, let's try 8. Let's see if that works. No. So we have 7. And then if we just remove this, so it's always up to today's date, return anything greater than a week ago is what it should be, right? Boom, it looks like that's kind of doing the thing. And we have everything greater than a week ago, but we want to measure 9.5, 9.2. kind of want to put the task timestamps below so we could see which column's rendering what, because I think it's all out of order right now, but we need them sorted. We need them in order. So I don't think it's not working. I just think it's not. These are percentages though, so we need percentage. Return percentages. Let's see, percentages, calculate. We have 2 percentages, calculate, boom. We want also, let's see, because it's saying 3 of them are in the done column, which is true, 1, 2, and 3, but it's measuring them completely however it wants. It looks like. So we want the, I think last date. So this should be the 30th, and then this one should be the 6th. I think that's the last issue here. And then let's just see. Let's move another task into the 6th. So today I'll update another task into done, and we should see one of the columns rise. We should also see 8 more objects in here. Instead of 7, there should be 8. And let's go ahead and try this out. And boom. So that's the one that's today, because it rose. It now has 2 things that it's measuring. So that's good. It's working. We see the overall completion of the project working. That's awesome. We just need to now order it based on the date. This is kind of cool, guys. I can't believe it's working. So we're coming up on an hour and plus, but I do want to get this done, and I feel like we're almost there. I feel like we're so close. So the last thing I need to do, let's remove this. Let's remove this. Let's get rid of all of this. These are going to be our methods, so we'll organize here. We don't need all task. We don't need state, it looks like. And it looks like we can streamline this. This is going to be our methods and data. So let's pop this. It's kind of a lot of methods and data. Let's put this here, and I'll separate some of it out. So we have data here, and we'll use that for just smaller things like this, I guess. We'll filter. Oh, I'm getting a phone call, guys, by a recruiter. I recognize that number, but I'm going to call her back. We are in the middle of recording an episode. Sorry, recruiter lady, but she was very kind too. But we are in business, folks. This is time. This is time right now. This is time. Okay, so especially right now, we're in like crunch time. Like this is where something's gonna happen. So max height, we don't really need to care about that as much. That's not a huge thing. Max height, that's just, we can muck around with that in a bit. This is kind of going to be part of our template function. So I'll make this render template. Template renders or render functions, right? Okay, boom. So that's something we don't need to worry about. So we're just focused kind of on this code block, right? Helps a lot to understand it when we could streamline it. We probably don't even need last week's or today's timestamp outside of using it here, because I think that's the only time we're using it. So we could probably actually just streamline this, say boom, right here, and boom. That should work still. So looks like it is still working. Nice, got a voicemail, folks. We got 3 errors, have no idea what they are. Not found in boundary. Hopefully this is not warning an HTML thing. Is that because of this? I feel like that has to be a different error. Nope, looks like that's the error. So we'll just leave those separate, not a big deal. But let's get to sorting the dates. We just want to sort the dates. That's it. That's it. That's all we want to do, folks. So how does it know which one to sort? Let's see. Is completed day of the week. Days count, day of the week. Percentage days count. If is completed, so boom. Task completed, right? So task completed. If task completed, on this day. Let's rename it proper. Task completed on this day. Task status name, but hold on, how does... Oh, I see. So it is checking. Okay, if task completed on this day. So if it's done or associated to done, the thing we're measuring by, integrate this day of this week. But still, we'll say task completed then. That's fine. Total task this day. So how's it? So that's fine. Task object. We're passing that in, which is our filtered array of task object. Percentages. So let's filtered array task object. Do we need to pass it in, or can we just literally push it in like this? Task object, filtered array, boom. We're getting some weird errors again. Expected server HTML tag to contain a matching div. What is this error, folks? What is this error? Is this even in this file? Let's see. Does not like it when I'm trying to overly streamline stuff. Okay, so all we need to do is sort it then, I think, at this point. So this is kind of data as well. Pop that into the data. So boom, that's our data that we're working with. And this is really our method of calculating this stuff. And out of it, task column toggle. Do we even need this? Can we just, again, all we're doing is using it there. Doesn't really seem like we need to pass it in a ton. Seems like a lot of redundancy that we can get rid of. Yep, looks like that'll work. So we'll say task column toggled or done. For now, we will need to edit that, curate that. Boom, let's get rid of that. We don't need that then. And we also don't need it there. Boom. Okay, so that curates that. A little percentages. Looks like percentage, we're just returning this function, so I don't even like doing that. Almost could just, can we just do this, right? Would be kind of cool, right? Maybe it works, boom, and it does. Okay, so now we have even less to worry about. Perfect. Right, task object. Filtered. So let's streamline even more. So we can just pop this right here, I believe. Filter that. Comes a little bit less legible, but not the end of the world there, right? So we have filter task object, array of task object, array of task object. Let's try that out, see if that works. Not horrible, but we definitely didn't build it that way, right? We know that, but this way we kind of have all the data up here. We're like, okay, we know we're filtering it, kind of building this array. Okay, that's done. Let's not worry about it. We're now focused on just this thing right here. Return percentages, and we want to sort day of the week. So I wonder how it's sorting it. It looks like it's sorting it by like the 30th, like 29th, 30th, 31st. I imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 30th, 31st, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like 30th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe is how it's doing it. Because yeah, like I imagine this is the 1 or something. So we still need to sort it somehow, right? Where let's see. It really didn't like this, where we just generated the timestamp here. feel like that's just not a thing. Okay, boom. So it is. Okay, cool. We will do that then. And could even, I mean, that's just getting ridiculous with it, is do something like this, right? It's getting very, very unreadable, but it does look cool. You know what I mean? It does look kind of cool. So maybe we do that, I guess. No, let's not. Let's just say const find a week ago. Generate timestamps. Let's see. Const a week ago. Or whatever. Or we'll do it. I guess the software gods want us to do it. So let's keep that then. If timestamp is above, we'll just put a note here. Checks for a week ago. Or generates timestamp. How about that? Generates timestamp from a week ago. How about that? We'll leave a little bit of that. Today. Well, hold on. What is this? Filters. Task object. Let's see. Okay, so that's handled. The data's all handled. Boom. We don't need to worry about it anymore. We'll close that out. It's irrelevant. Looks like that's handled. Let's just literally figure out the sorting. Or maybe we do need to sort it down here in the data. Let me console log this. Let's see what this pops out as. It still should be those seven days or eight objects. But I wonder how they come out timestamp wise. So we have 23. I don't know how it's being sorted. Let's ask our trusty chat GPT how to sort. How do you sort by dates like this from oldest to newest? Let's see. Array.prototype.sort. Okay. So it looks like we can just sort it A, B. Looks like we can sort it just like this, kind of. We're going to need to... We're going to need to do this in the array. I think in the data, actually, the thing that we just made really complicated. So maybe we pop that here, actually, first. Say sort. But it's not going to be date A. It's going to be A dot task timestamp, I believe. And that task timestamp, I think that is what we needed. It's not any, but we'll declare it as such for now. Or not. String. Or can we declare it as dates? How would you do this in TypeScript? How would you do this in TypeScript? Okay, let's see. Date string of arrays. That's what I thought it'd just be a string, but it's not necessarily that. Let's see if we don't need to declare it as strings. Let's see if it still works. Even though we're getting some errors. Nope. Okay. So we'll just give it, I guess, everything here. Say, can you fix this and sort it by the task status timestamp? Boom. Let's see what it comes up with. This might be a bit of a heady thing. So that's what it's saying to do. Array.sort like this. Task completed for calculate task completed. Okay, this is the methods bit right here. Still not liking this. It's just a type error here. Any number on a left-handed side of the arithmetic operation must be type any. Let's try that out. Okay, maybe this will work. No. Okay, let's see. So I've now asked it to include the date inside of the function here. So let's see, boom. See if it does this. Calculate completion data. Nope, don't want that. We just want the result here so we can access the timestamp. Let's see if we can do that still. Still, it shouldn't be working right now. It should be throwing an error based on the percentage, right? Because it really shouldn't be throwing the percentage here. It should be percentage dot something, right? Percentage dot, because we want to rebuild this object. Return the result, and it should be this. Yeah. Task object, create an array of objects. That's exactly what we want. So this should not be working. Somehow it still is working, right? It should be percentage dot percentage. See if that brings it back to life. Then we're probably working. We are. Obviously, we have some errors, but then we want percentage dot task status timestamp just to see what our columns are working with, which is perfect. Because now we can see kind of more where the error is on how these timestamps are being rendered. And really, we could slice them. Let's say slice. We could say 0 to 15 just to get all that extra stuff off. We just need to see the date pretty much. So we see 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 6. So why is it measuring 9th here? Let's see. 09. Let's see, white space, no wrap. I want to see how they all gap dash 10, right? Let's put some space between these timestamps. Gap 8 maybe. So this is 9/6, right? I see it over here. Let's see. Sorry guys, we're running on a bit too much here, but let's gap. We're gonna give them a ton of margin right now just to see the differences between the timestamps. See if that works. Okay, so 902, 906. Looks like 906 and 906 again. So I wonder if we need to do some sort of math.floor, math.ceiling to calculate the timestamps, like calculate the week dates. Is date a type? How about number? Is number a type? And we can do number here. That nice. Okay, so there goes our TypeScript error. Don't want a TypeScript error, so perfect. Looks like we're handling that. So boom. So I do think it is sorted then. We're now adding, and I wonder if it was always sorted. So I'm going to get rid of this actually. Let's see if it always came back sorted. So I guess maybe it should have always came back sorted. 999. Okay, so I do think it always came back sorted, so we actually don't even need all this extra jazz. But good to know. Good to know. We went down it. Percentages, we don't need that either. We're just doing that here. Calculate it down there. Boom. It's kind of heady. Wouldn't be the most readable, but I think we can understand it. So I think the problem actually has been we need to do some sort of math.ceiling, math.floor on the dates. Because it looks like we're getting the dates. So we have 9/6, 9/6. So it looks like it's taking like in the middle of a day. Maybe 1, 2, 3. But why do we have multiple days like this? Oh, you know what? I think it's missing the. Yeah, I see. Because we don't have September 3rd or September 4th. We're only showing the call. Okay. I see. I see what the bug is. Okay. So we still need to generate objects based on the day from a week ago and then fill in all the days from there back. So we still need to build something that kind of generates the array properly. But I think I'm going to wrap up the episode here, guys. I didn't anticipate this being kind of a 3-episode deal. But we figured it out. We figured out the problem, and we're getting this done pretty well, I think. So I enjoy it. I think we're almost there. We just need to tweak a few more things. There's strong progress done today. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I do need to go work out and eat food because it is that time of the day. I have not eaten very much, and it's like 4 p.m. So thank you very much for watching, though. I will have this episode out sooner than later, and then obviously the next one is right down the line. We're coming in hot. We're coming in hot with more material, and obviously I want to build this component out proper. So yeah, let me think about it, but ultimately I think what we're going to need to do is going to be some version of this. It was like the step 4 or 5 in those notes that we had that had like multiple steps. But basically we're going to have to still generate that array of task status timestamp. Maybe I'll leave a little note here. We'll have the task or the days count, I guess. Will be 0, and then we're going to need to generate the task status timestamp based on a week ago. And then the next object within the array, you can see how it's blurring it out. The next object is going to be a week ago. It'll be 6 days ago. And then 5 days ago, so on and so forth up until today. So how many is that? And then 0 days ago, right? And that's going to be the object we need to generate here. So we're almost there. We just need to integrate this because right now I think what it's doing is just building a timestamp what it is doing is this, but it's not doing specifically from a week ago. It's doing the week ago, but then it'll do the next date available, the next date available, which could be, let's say a week ago was, I don't know exactly, but let's say it was August 30th. The next date available looks like it was like 9/1, or in fact, there was another task done on 8/30. So that's kind of what it's doing. Uh-oh. Lost you guys. All right. Lost the video footage, but I'll wrap it up here then. And we will see you on the next one. Cheers.